All right, we call order. We stand for pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Any questions in regards to the way we form? Yes. Last page is the way. Okay. Sorry. Monitor the water department.
In general, for monitoring the water levels, which will go up property mountains and the subsections.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. President. And Delta Spirit Company, that's what annual audit, finance audit. Yeah, I remember that. Like, okay, we can move on to the next. John, you go back to the 24?
Not yet, hold on.
Oh.
We don't know. You said Lions Electronics? Is that what you said?
No.
Because we have a ten, what do you want, a ten?
No, we're on the 24.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's wrong.
What you mentioned in 24?
On the second page, under, part of 123 finance, John Perry, the auditing firm,
Okay,
see it?
I see.
Okay. Sure.
Well, President, I'm ready to ask questions before we agree on that to the council with
Well, by right, you should wait for public comment, because you're not a member of the committee, but since you are an alternate, I'm willing to go ahead and allow you to answer the question.
Thank you, sir. That we on the 24th, right? February 24th.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have, continuing questions on Department 102 Administrative Services Department. Office expense for our comptroller, Mr. Louis Williams, reimbursement of $3,465. Why are we continuing to use the comptroller's credit card and being reimbursed back to him instead of using it for the general?
That's a legitimate question, but that's something you have to pick up with the administration.
Okay.
If you all could please speak up, since Mayor Clark has asked us to be behind here, I can't hear anything.
You're right.
Thank you.
And then, remember, right, it's not the first time we've actually seen it. We've always had a reimbursement, system that was used about, even, reward funds, things like that. It's a reimbursement. It's not like we get the money and you can spend it and just bring back receipts. That's not the regular time we, especially for ours, so you have to spend the money and then you get your money back. So,
The monthly subscription charge, Microsoft charges us. So we're not paying, like you can buy Microsoft 365, whatever, correct? Word Excel, you can only one when you have a subscription. Here we have to pay them a monthly subscription price. Unfortunately, every time we try to run it through the debit card, city debit card, the city credit card, fall back.
Okay, with that, I just got one more question. Department 122, for the finances, for the county and audit, John Casper, it's $56,250. So this year ended, what year?
He's working on the 22 audit.
Okay, and there's a reason that we have to pay these audited finances that due to not turning in our
That's what they are. If they're the owner, if that's their fee,
For $22,000, and then what was their industry, well, we have to pay.
we got to pay for all of this every year. We
Okay,
have to pay for the independent audit of the city.
so why was it done in 2022?
Because they weren't available to do it, we were looking for a person to do it, so now they do it.
Okay, and the WW facility moved from January 1st to June 2007, all that stuff.
That's me. That's my firm, we do all the day-to-day accounting.
That's it for June.
Can I make a motion to, ratify the, February 24th bills, minutes, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? None. Move on. Take it to the council. Let's go to March the 10th, bills, minutes. Yes.
We reached out to you for the,
Yes. Verify.
Yeah.
Since we're talking about police cars, we just hired 16 new police officers. We, as a council, should try to sponsor some legislation to where we can add additional cars for these additional 16 officers.
I don't think that's legislation. We already got the contract with him, right? We won't cut.
Okay. Well, it's something that I don't want to understand about, but I would prefer if the police chief spoke to the mayor about it, and then the mayor brings it to the council. So that's something that I've been thinking about.
flock group is,
Fire games. Mention how to speak.
So, cars. Okay?
yeah, like,
How are we doing with, that's open? I understand, I think we got to go to, that, are we making any headway with that?
$600,000 over that.
Okay.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? It's very hard to hear back here. You guys are like whispering. 600 what?
600,000 and some lead.
Thank you. That'd be great. That would be much appreciated. Thank you. Okay, so hopefully they're going to add some microphones so we'll be able to actually hear what they're saying. If you're tuning in, this is the Finance Committee meeting. The regular City Council meeting is at 7 p.m. This is the committee that Mayor Clark and his for Alder Yesman that they kicked Colby Chapman, my alderwoman, off of the finance committee because she was asking questions about where our money was going.
All the uniforms and clothing for, the police department, that's coincide with, the new hires? Or, cause I don't remember how it worked, if they wanted to replace the uniform. Is this a year?
All the sworn officers get usually uniform amounts twice a year. One in December, the other in November, and I believe it's May, where they buy the seasonal uniforms. When you see the other uniform purchases, that's for exempt staff, new hires, and they go into their guys.
Chairman, it's motion, not a motion, Chairman, correct. Send this to full council, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. All right, we're gonna move over to March 24th. March 24th, bills, let's see.
The gentleman on the left, closest to us, is City Comptroller Lewis Williams. Alderwoman Tracy Key is just sitting in on the meeting. Alderman Tracy Key. He's in the red. And on the right, we have Alderman Tyrone Rogers, Alderwoman Delaney Smith, and Alderman Randall L. Dominique Lau. So far, no questions have been answered about multiple bills lists.
Pretty much, yeah. All regular stuff, pretty much. Do you have any questions? No. Chair? For the regular council at the regular meeting. At this portion of the meeting, we're gonna open it up for public comment. Well, please, state your name and what your comment is. So whoever would like to start, please, feel free.
Yeah, it's,
That's all right.
I think,
I don't hear you, everybody can hear you, that's
Oh.
all. I don't want, you know.
As long as if you just project as loud as you can, I should be able to hear you.
So I have a question regarding, okay, it's probably gonna sound like a broken record at this point, but when are we going to be able to get copies of what you guys are reviewing? And failing that, is there any way that you could at least post, like what the ending balance is for the month versus year to date, and what the expenses are, just so we have some idea of what our cash flow looks like coming into the city and going out? You know, what's being spent, what's being received versus what's being spent, and especially if there's big ticket items. You know, I think we, as taxpayers, deserve to know that.
I think you do too.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. So my concern is, number one, of the agenda, we listed the date of the bills, but again, I guess to reiterate what you're saying, you don't have an itemized line item list of exactly what those bills are. So we can understand, for public consumption, exactly what the bills are being paid out on a quarterly, monthly, or annual basis. Something that the alderman mentioned was that there was expired for a 2022 audit. So we're paying them in 2025. And I guess my concern is, because there's no documented financials in the last 3 years, that usually forces an audit from the state of Illinois. So I guess my concern is, there's over 1,300 towns in the state of Illinois. There's over 1,300 villages, towns, and cities within the state of Illinois. And the concern, your response, Mr. Comptroller, Mr. Williams, was, oh, we were looking for a firm, but I just thought that our neighboring municipalities, I'm sure they work with auditing firms. Why did it take 3 years to pay someone to do something 3 years later? There's other auditing and accounting firms that work with municipalities to produce these type of reports. I guess it's very alarming to me that, one, there's no documented financials for the last 3 years, and you've been here under 2 administrations. But yet, as residents, we're waiting on to know the financial health of our town. Whether it's a surplus or a deficit, I think we have a right to know that as residents. And the fact that we have to come to these meetings, nothing wrong with coming to the meetings, but I also feel like this information needs to be shared on a public platform for us. And I just would hope, even though it's not on the agenda, I would hope that in subsequent meetings, that the financials of the town from 23, 24, 22, 23, and 24 fiscal years will be presented for public consumption. That's all.
Do you ever attend the, city council meetings?
I have in the past.
No, did you attend the last one?
I did not, I did watch the video on March 10th where the mayor did explicitly explain the duties of the treasurer and the comptroller, but it still did not answer the question of what is this financial state of the city of Harvey. So it's one thing to explain the duties of the comptroller and the treasurer, it still does not answer the question of that we're missing 3 years of audited financial statements. And again, explaining the duties of the treasurer and the comptroller, while it is important, as adults, I feel like that's something that we could have Googled and read ourselves. It just felt like a lot of fluff. And I just want to know, as a resident, what is the financial state of our town? And again, if it's a surplus, if it's a deficit, whatever it is, I just think that that is something that needs to be addressed, and it needs to be publicly and accessibly available to everyone.
Let me, I want to address that question. You asked me like it's inexcusable, we're just doing the fiscal 22 audit. But when I say it's more of an accounting profession issue, where the number of firms that are doing municipal audits has dropped drastically in this state, for instance. Our previous firm, before John Kisberry came, who did the fiscal 21 audit, we used GWA, they did prior 3 audits, they got out of the business. Prior to that, the past 7 audits, these are auditors I've worked on since I've been here. The audits from 2009 to 2020 were all done by Lollabach. They took their focus away from doing municipal audits. And again, you don't have to take my word on who all is behind the audits. You're more than welcome to go to the state of Illinois controller site and Google delinquent municipalities. You'll find that their municipalities is much bigger than Harvey, that are behind 4 and 5 years on their audit. It's not an excuse, it's just the reality of the accounting profession.
I was gonna say, just so I had clarity, so if I'm wrong, if Mr. Williams, please correct me, the auditing is more of kind of keeping an eye on what we're telling you, right? It's kind of like giving you that outside view of the finances, but if you came, so like in December when we're going and we're doing the budget and we went through that, we go all the way through our finances, from top to bottom, from beginning to end. Now, when we do that, the auditors, they come in and say, no, that ain't right. Y'all did finish the year with a surplus of 2 million, that's a lot. They're like the third eye, but we give everything. It's a full presentation, okay? But of course,
What meeting is this given, this whole?
well, before we pass the budget. The budget hearing. Nobody really comes to the budget hearing. Just like we're light in this finance meeting. But people get up and say, we're not telling you anything, but you gotta come. And I'm not saying But that's what typically happens, because by law, we have to have a public hearing. And that man right there gets up there for about 2 hours and go over all of our financials. We went over the bonds, where we at on those bonds, what we were trying to do with those bonds, to bring it down. We went over, our increases at the police department. Why? Because we wanted to hire more police chiefs. And how much money was gonna be put into that increase. We go through everything.
And I understand that, and I do appreciate that nugget about the budget hearing. Where is that on the website? And again, there's no financial since
I-
2021. So again,
I have nothing
it
to
should
do
be
with it.
accessible whether someone attends a meeting or not. That information should be able to be consumed.
Well, you know, just to add on what my colleague was saying, that when we post it for the finance meeting, it's usually posted annual budget. Annual fiscal year budget will be discussed, and that's when Mr. Lewis does his presentation. So, I would suggest, since I see your concern, and you as well, Ms. Watson, that you all kind of try to keep, abreast of, the agenda of the finance meeting, and in the future, we'll probably be.
Where do you live?
Yours,
Where?
in your ward. I actually reached out to you via email, so you don't response back.
Okay, now, when it's over, we'll talk, because I believe I know what you're talking about.
What do you, try to
Email.
financials?
You asked me about financials.
I actually knew it was our next board meeting.
Yes, I responded to you. Okay, well, let me see, let me look at my phone,
Okay.
and then we'll compare, but I believe I did.
Okay.
Is there anybody else for public comment?
I just said, this feedback on the machine.
Your name, sir?
Mr.
Sir. Okay.
Talk nice and loudly for me, please. Thank you.
How do you guys able to find the auditor that you need to do the audit this time? How did it come about? I mean, how were they able to find one so quickly?
They did it last summer.
They did that same company did the
Yes,
last
they
audit?
did, 21.
Okay, and so did you guys ask them to do the audit again?
We had asked them to do the audit right away, but their staffing is allowed to start doing it this year.
So you all told the state of Illinois that you had already contacted them and asked them to be your auditor?
Yeah.
And they said,
The city said, the state said they were gonna force an auditor, and I said, come on, we can, what your auditor really wants. I don't care who audits the city at all.
but the state knows that you had already contacted them and asked them to do the audit for you?
Yes.
And then they said that they couldn't, and the state went and told them that they have to do the audit for them? That's what I'm trying to find out.
They said they were gonna force audit, and they were weren't going to wait on Casper. And I said, fine, send the auditors in, I have no problem, I don't really care who does the audit.
And then Casper
And
came
Casper came in, and their auditors were ready, so Casper is on the audit.
That's interesting.
I think it's, like I said, I have 3 auditors here, Harvey. I don't care, audit is nothing but the test of what we already have.
And that's good, I hear
I'm
what you're
saying
saying.
100% reliability is what I have. I've never got
I'm not
anything.
saying that you.
I'm saying you never had anything other than what.
Excuse me, we can only speak it one at a time.
Right, all I'm saying is this, is that we'd like to know what's going on with you, that's all,
Oh,
you know, just for the record.
I've
Nothing
done.
personal against anybody, just for the record.
This is my money, the public has a right to know, I mean, this, you don't have to give me that, I tell you, I would, citizens are,
Okay.
just under the pleasure of.
I have another question. You mentioned about the bond rating. What is our current bond rating as far as the city of Harvey, the obligation bond?
We don't have,
Okay, so I'm looking at
as
it.
most small towns are, it is very difficult to maintain one.
Question? Anybody else?
You said, I got one more, you said that the city of Harvey doesn't have a bond rating? Okay, so they don't have a bond rating because defaulted on the bonds and we had to redo them over again.
It's the same finance.
Because all bonds are rated, whether they're municipal, or whatever, Moody's, Standards and Poor's, all bonds are rated.
I would disagree with you with the actual statement.
I mean, I talked to them, so I know, you know. Okay.
I have a question. Yes.
Oh, you were first, Alderman, go ahead.
Thank you. My question is, as a resident, when we continue, there are questions that have explanations, but not clear explanations, and then there are certain things that we have to refer to the mayor to get further elaboration. So my question is, why do we continue to move something to council to be voted on when all the questions are not clear? Can we just have a process where all the residents have the information that they need, no questions have to be asked, and then move forward instead of questions not being asked, but still being going through the council to be voted on? That's your comment? No, well, that was my question, and in addition to the situation with the audit from 2022, that we still have received a letter from the comptroller, an engagement letter, and just because we didn't file in 2022, there's a big sum estimated close to $100,000 that we will have to pay for not filing on time. So what is this process of us still having to have our audit from 2022 being done in 25, and nobody's talking about the additional fees we have to pay to get it done?
City of Harvey has got, I've been here, this is about 2 years. This is year 12. I had the city of Harvey and yet to pay a fine to control this office. So failing, Harvey.
With that,
Oh, I just had a question. Yeah, no, I wanted to thank you, the people that made such great comments. I just wanted to say in agreement, and then there were a few people in an online chat. They were asking the same thing as far as where are the receipts and the invoices that we have been asking for several years now. We've asked at City Council, we've asked at the Finance Committee meeting. I know Ms. Glynis was gracious enough to share where she's familiar with Evanston, how they release their packet publicly before every meeting, and it has all the bids for anything that's going out to bid. It has receipts, invoices. It's quite complete. When are we finally going to see that information? Because even the bills list, the mayor started writing confidential on it, so we can't even see that before the meeting. But that's also very problematic because, I mean, anyone could type in what the bills are. So until we see receipts and invoices, any talk of finances in the city for years, we're just taking the mayor and the comptroller's word on it. When are we going to see the receipts? No, is there?
I have an additional question.
You've already had 2 questions, and I think you've exceeded the 3-minute
Oh,
limit. But go ahead.
I didn't know we had to do it or.
You may mention that at the beginning, but please, go ahead.
Okay. So, Mr. Key, you mentioned about a penalty for the state not filing. Is there a fee for the municipalities when they don't file? Is there a fee, or is it just, hey, you guys didn't file, make sure you file?
Ma'am, the controller answered that question, that the city of Harvey in the past 12 years have never had to pay a fine for not filing for their audit in a timely manner. In the
No,
past
you
12
said
years.
that you didn't pay, but I'm asking the state assessor. It's one thing for the city may or may not pay, I'm saying there's a state assessor, that's what I was trying
We
to.
have yet to be assessed or paid.
Assess or pay, I just wanted to clarify. Okay.
Thank you.
Would there be an answer to my question? I know you guys answered the others about the receipts. No.
It's not really, it's not like, listen, I think I speak for probably everybody in the room. I could care less if we loaded up all the receipts on the internet I don't care if that is not my department, and I have zero control over it.
Well, you guys are the finance committee, so that's why I'm asking you.
Yes, but I'm not the media person, and the media person doesn't work for me, so I can't tell him what to do.
So maybe you guys could suggest an ordinance to provide that transparency? Put it on the agenda? It's just an idea.
Again, there's a proper individual who deals with that and has access to the internet, and I don't know how anything gets on that website at all. I don't. And you know, there's a proper person who knows that. That's done by the administration, and I believe that that's where you should take your fight to, because.
We get no answer. We were actually sent back to this committee, so that's why I'm asking you.
Talk to me afterwards.
We really want a public answer, but I'm just saying for the record, so we still have no receipts years later. We have no receipts. We have to take it on your word of all the finances, the millions of dollars handled in Harvey.
We understand your concern.
Okay. Just want to clarify that.
Motion to adjourn at 6:40, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So you heard that on the record. So we have no receipts. All the finances are taken. We're just supposed to believe them. We have nothing on the record at all. All we have are the bills lists, and that's it. And I mean, that's just ridiculous, because my 7-year-old niece could write out a bills list and put any numbers. If we don't see receipts and invoices, then we have no idea where any of our money is going. And that includes county grants, state grants, federal grants that the city has been awarded. So it's a very dangerous precedent that is set here. We will be starting the city council meeting at 7 p.m., which is in about 19 minutes. So thank you if you tuned in with us. Thank you so much. And we will see what happens. Unfortunately, the mayor is going to be voting on several ordinances that are not being properly done financially, which is not a surprise. And it looks like we have some consultants here or something. Some folks that I don't recognize, but we'll see what that's about. So we don't have very many security guards here yet. We have 2. We have Officer Morgana and I forget this gentleman's name, but that's about it for the moment.
It'll pick something out because it says it comes from an outside source. It is not safe. And they want to let us open. Everybody's outside.
Oh, yeah, there's a fire alarm with that too. So like, you know, your email,
Starting and stopping.
I was gonna say, type your head, 'cause you're so bad at it.
If one thing I said,
Things that we are fighting for. And I have financial transparency, I have our freedom of speech.
We can retire.
To make keys get released. Mr. McGinn is back on the diet. Took pictures of him again. So the gentleman that's going to be serving as legal counsel is also the public administrative hearing judge for when you ever get a ticket or something. That was my response too. Whenever you get a ticket from the city of Harvey, he's the person that adjudicates the administrative, he's the administrative hearing judge.
No matter how we look at it.
Then he's also serving as the corporate counsel. He just walked out, so. And,
He's the white hair.
so is that normal practice?
I don't know, but I feel like it's a conflict of interest. Because I feel like, he was the person who heard my case when I had to appear
And mine
for
too.
Harvey, in Harvey Municipal Court. And I just think if he's sitting in one spot as the corporate counsel for the city, and then you're coming to him thinking he's going to be impartial, but he's already shown that he's the corporate counsel for the city, it's like it's stacked against you from the beginning, which it was.
Right.
Which it was.
No, I agree. Because why wouldn't he have every incentive to
Exactly.
to fine you or
Fine
whatever
us,
the city
right?
wants? Because he's getting paid
working
by
on
the city.
behalf of the city.
So there's a question limit, comment limit time? I know
There shouldn't be.
There really isn't, because otherwise they would explicitly state that. But for public comment for the city council meeting, there is. They tell you up front 3 minutes. And his voice was getting raised, so I know he was getting agitated.
It's okay. Why don't you should tell your mom what he does?
So, can I smooth this girl? You have to get it.
Oh, that's the stuff that Colby said.
Oh, yeah, I can
That was the stuff that, was shared like recently, right? Okay.
so small, and I
Look at the watermark. You see? Oh, that's right. You've seen that before. That's so stupid.
My brothers and sisters really.
It's like, how can you mark anything like? It's not confidential. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. Okay, so we're just waiting for the city council meeting.
Have one,
Oh, you said you did see them. Hi, how are you? Good to see you. Oops, I'm sorry. I don't want to step on your coat. No. I was just trying to move it away so you don't get anybody to step on it. So you don't get anybody stepping on your coat. What happened?
This is for me. I'm running for trustee of Harvey Public Library.
Good for you. You brought them.
2015 to 21 was my first term. I did the expansion 2015 to 2016 to expand the library and make it bigger.
Wait, so you were on the library board, because I think, was it